You know this feeling. A single fine hair near your lip, or right at the edge of your ear, gets grazed just slightly, and it triggers an itch so specific, so oddly precise, that scratching a spot even a centimeter away doesn't fix it. You felt this 100 times. Until this year, nobody could actually explain why. For a long time, the assumption was that itching mostly worked one way. Something chemical, histamine from an allergic reaction, an irritant on the skin, a mosquito's saliva, triggers a signal, and the brain interprets it as itch. That model explains a lot of itching. It doesn't explain the itch you get from something as simple as a hair moving. In 2026, researchers at the University of Michigan found the missing piece. Working with mouse models, they identified a previously unrecognized class of extremely fine hairs called vellus-like hairs, essentially the biological equivalent of human peach fuzz. Connected to these hairs was a specialized population of touch-sensitive neurons nobody had mapped before, dedicated specifically to detecting the movement of these hairs and converting that movement into an itch signal.
Here's the part that makes this genuinely new. This isn't the chemical itch pathway everyone already knew about. It's a separate, dedicated mechanical circuit, one that responds to physical movement rather than chemical irritation. The researchers found specific proteins that vary this exact itch signal from the hair to the spinal cord. And when they tested human neurons grown in a lab, those neurons responded to the very same proteins. That's strong evidence humans likely run on this same dedicated system. There's a detail here that turns this from an interesting finding into something almost unsettling in its precision. These vellus-like hairs aren't distributed evenly across the body. They cluster densely around specific areas, particularly the mouth and the ears, in both mice and humans. Researchers believe this isn't a coincidence. It may be an early warning system, evolved specifically to detect something crawling near two of the body's most vulnerable openings, alerting an animal to a parasite or pest before it can do real damage.
This research matters beyond just explaining a strange sensation. Chronic itch is one of the most common and difficult symptoms in skin conditions like eczema, and current treatments often target the wrong pathway entirely, focused on chemical itch, when a patient's discomfort may be running through this newly identified mechanical circuit instead. In experiments, mice lacking these specific neurons showed dramatically reduced scratching behavior, even when their skin was chronically inflamed, hinting at a possible new treatment target. It's worth being careful about the current limits of this finding. The core discovery comes from mouse models, and while the human cell evidence is promising, full confirmation in living humans is still ahead. Science moves in careful steps, and this is a strong first one, not a finished picture.
So the next time a single strand of hair grazes your lip or the edge of your ear, and that unmistakable, weirdly specific itch shows up, you'll know it's not random. It's a dedicated alarm system, wired into you for a reason, quietly doing a job evolution assigned it long before anyone thought to ask why.